Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dropping Dimes pod. I got my main man Douglas Blake here, and we're gonna recap NBA playoffs so far. First, first round is starting to come to a close. We got a few series closed out, and let's get it started.
Let's get it going.
All right, first, let's talk about this Knicks Hawks game last night, Doug. I was watching this game. I was all excited. And I think it was like about a tie game. It was like 15-11 or something. Somebody came in, started talking to me. I talked with them. I swear, man, it was like 3 minutes. They left. I looked back at the screen. It's like 35-15. I'm like, what the hell happened, man?
Look, I missed out on. I was at work and I was watching. I just saw on social media on Facebook somebody said the Atlanta Hawks is getting the lemon pepper wings knocked out of them. I was like, what's going on? And I looked at the stat. Hey, I said, whoa. I was like, that was embarrassing. That was a game. I was like, wait a minute, they wasn't doing anything. Was anybody hurt? What was going on? But man, and that was at halftime when I seen the score. I was like, that wasn't the A. It must have been that hard to get into the whole, like, for them shooting. Everything was just bouncing out. I just like, yeah,
It was insane, man. It was like a 50-4 run. I
yeah.
don't think I've ever seen anything like that, even in like
And
youth sports.
New York locked in on
They
that
were
game.
they were either missing or getting blocked or turning it over. Like they couldn't do anything.
No, couldn't do nothing. I
It
was
was
surprised.
incredible. It was crazy, man. I think I turned that off after like the first quarter, or I was just begging and waiting for that Philly Boston game to start. My wife's all yelling at me like, "Get this trash off the TV! What is this crap?"
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't worth watching. It definitely wasn't worth watching, man. Because that
Man, they put it
game,
on him.
they had the Atlanta fans highly upset. You see, Boosie got hurt in the game too. I was like, what? How Boosie get hurt?
Who is Boosie?
He's a
What?
rapper. He was a rapper. Jalen
The
Brunson ran into
rapper, the Atlanta rapper, he got hurt at the
Louis.
game?
Yeah, he was a Louis. He ran into Jalen Brunson and ran into him on the sideline. That's when I guess that was like in the third quarter, I think. And he got
That's when it
he
all
ran
went
into him.
downhill for
Yeah.
Atlanta. It was a bad omen. Doug's got the inside knowledge, man. Yeah, that one was rough. I guess the McCollum's not going to be getting the $200 million contract anymore.
Nah, he's going to Portland. He's going to Portland. That's it.
He's going back to Portland. You got to join up with Dame. All right, let's move on. Philly, Boston. This was a good game, pretty good game. I mean, I want to give a little bit of apologies to Embiid. He's been playing well both of the last two games, and he's only 6 for 18, but he's no Shaq out there or whatever. But he's
Right.
also can hit his free throws, unlike Shaq, and he flops. He flops and gets those things. So, but he's looked good. He's looked pretty good. I mean, he's been a good injection for that team. And wow, they tied it up.
Yeah, he almost had a triple double too. He was flirting with a triple double in the game too. So I mean, hey, if Embiid just could feed everybody else, just get in the post, get his presence shown a little bit, and just pass it back out. Let the point guard and everybody else do their job, man. I mean, and then everything else will come to him slowly. So he just don't try. He doesn't need to force anything. So Embiid is just, he's a good player, but he's very, very tender. Just smallest tap might hurt him. So him and
Yeah,
him
it's
and
like
Anthony,
a stiff breeze could push that guy over, man.
him and Anthony Davis both are neck and neck for who can get the most injuries.
Well, yeah, we talked about that with the Wizards. Who would they trade for? That would be rough.
Yeah, but it was a good game.
Though. But these Boston Celtics centers just can't handle Embiid, and you're right.
Yeah.
He's creating offense for them off of double teams or just off of putting those guys in the hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Kata's especially kind of wasn't able to get rebounds very well. He's just getting beat by Embiid. He's just too small, as they say.
Yeah, not well trained on the All-Star MVP player of Embiid. So he know how to change it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that those type of centers, the teams can get away with those type of centers for,
Hmm.
almost every team in the league, right? And then like Embiid finally plays one of his 35 games a year or whatever, and now it's a problem.
One
And
of the
now it's
games
a
that
problem in
matter.
the playoffs.
Yeah.
Bad. Game 7, yeah, he might rest or he might just fumble it all up, man. He's got a little bit of that hardened choking disease.
Yeah. It's well, he did play with him, so I mean, it did rub off on him. So maybe it probably did.
They rubbed off on each other. Him and Ben Simmons.
Yeah, the
But
Celtics though, it was kind of you know the average players on the team did their thing, but not enough to win the game. And Jalen Brunson. I'm sorry, Jason Tatum and Brown. They lead the team, but they couldn't get over 20. It wasn't enough for him because Maxey had dropped 30 on him. He's almost averaging a 30 points every game almost. Like so, I mean he's trying to put the team on his back too. So as a point guard, he's taking advantage of it. He's taking advantage of who's guarding him and everything. But Celtics gonna have to do something in Boston. They got to go back home and they better win it. If they don't, Philly's gonna be another upset team that's gonna surprise everybody.
I mean, Maxey looked so good. That guy is
Yeah.
so fast, hitting threes too.
Hmm.
I was just thinking about like who are the most talented players in the NBA? Like the most, skilled and athletic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like results or whatever, but just skilled and athletic. And I would put Maxey at the top. He'd be in my top 3. Him and Ant-Man, I just think are just so skilled and athletic. I mean, they can hit hit threes like any any of these great shooters, and just a Maxey with the speed, Ant-Man just with like a ferocity.
Yep.
And these guys are just amazing players, man. Fun to
Yeah.
watch. I loved. Oh, Maxey had this one move around Vucevic. It was beautiful.
Yeah, he's
Little layup.
actually improving. He's increasing his skills and like he's been in the gym practicing and everything. So I mean, like with his game, he realizes where he can get his points at and everything too. So he takes advantage of all of that and finding his players, finding his teammates when he needs to pass. So I mean, he's doing that as a point guard, but he knows like it's time to take over. Everybody move out. ISO. I'm gonna ISO and get on it and get these points. So he knows when to turn it on and turn it off.
He can really shoot too, and Edgecombe has been great too. I mean, just like Edgecombe's ability to block to guard one of the JBs has been huge for them.
Mhm.
Or whether sorry, JT or JB, and Paul George has been playing well. I mean, these guys,
Yeah.
Philly just has like a lot of good players, man,
Yeah.
and
If everybody
it's
played their
showing.
part. Yep. Everybody
Yeah,
played
it's
their part.
showing, and they're tied up 3-3 now. We'll get to previews later, but I'll be watching that game tomorrow night for sure.
Most definitely. I
Wow.
will be too.
And just last thing I'll just say is Celtics. Tatum just he was off. He was off. He was whining. He just wasn't really getting it done last night. Then he kind of left with an injury, but supposedly he'll be back Saturday, so that's good news for the Celtics.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and I just gotta make fun of a Shireman, man. I mean, this guy, he's got a mullet, he's got a goatee, he's wearing a t-shirt out there, but he can drain those threes, man.
He- hey, he's a guy that definitely not expecting to shoot, but hey,
Just
he's doing it.
doesn't look like he belongs, but uh
Anything's possible in the NBA now, man. Anything's possible in the NBA. You
I
never
mean,
know.
if I was him, I'd be like, "You just got scored on by a guy with a mullet." All
Getting
right.
all the attention. Getting all the attention in Boston.
No, you know who gets a lot of attention is Peyton Pritchard, and I mean, dude's 1 for 8, and yeah, I think he gets a little too much shine, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off the bench, so he's trying to bring the team back. When he gets in, he's trying to be that spark off the bench to help the team out. But nothing was falling for him. So he might blow up when they go back home. He might get like what 20 points when they go home in a win. Never know.
He came off the bench, but he played the most minutes on the team. Played 36
Hmm.
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oubre was doing his thing too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we didn't talk about the previous game where they put in Quentin Grimes a lot, and I thought Quentin Grimes
Yeah.
was the real difference in that
Yeah. Made
game.
a
Just
difference in
like,
that game for real. Yeah.
yeah, his ability to hit threes, I think, just helped space the floor.
Hmm.
But last night he wasn't
He
as
wasn't
good on
efficient.
that end.
Yeah.
No,
It was more.
Oubre
It
was
was
more.
more in the starting five game. It was a starting five game. They were just in there to cover the minutes. That's all it was. Play some
Yeah,
defense and everything.
but he was huge in that win in Game 5, coming in
Hmm.
for Oubre and also playing some D. All right, let's move on to the T-Wolves and the Nuggets. Boy, this was. I can tell I'm a little bit of a Nuggets fan because as the game started coming to an end, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is it.
No more triple double, man.
No more no more. Your MVP went out. He tried though, man. I think he started to look tired in that fourth quarter. I think
Hmm.
coach was just playing him too much. Probably
Yeah.
should have given him a blow because he was
It wasn't working for him. He was tired.
no, yeah,
And
he
then
was tired,
he started another fight again. So he was
man.
he was getting in his feelings. His temper, boy. I swear, you can push him and you can push him to the edge. That's all you got to do with him. He very emotional, but I mean, he's more emotional when it comes to those horses, in the races. But
I turned that game off with 30 seconds to go. I should have kept it on. I thought Jokic was going to come over there and just start pounding on every player
he dapped
now that the
everybody up after the
series was
game, man.
over.
Yeah, he dapped
Did
everybody up
he?
after. Yeah, he wanted to
He
go speak
dapped
to
him?
everybody. Yeah, he dapped everybody up after the game. It's a
That's
whole
good.
different. It's a good sportsmanship. I mean, he's trying to get in their heads too. So when they play, everybody know how to get in everybody's head. But everybody took advantage of Joker. Like got everybody on
I
the
thought
Timberwolves
they
team got on him.
they were trying to get him. I mean, he was getting pushed in the back and stuff. And
Yeah,
I actually thought he did a good job of
calming
not
down.
starting anything. I think they
Yeah,
actually called 2 techs on Minnesota in that little scuffle. So
yeah,
I thought that was appropriate
yeah.
because they were pushing him in the back and oh
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. It was kind of
Nasri gave a good shove.
yeah, he definitely. I seen that too. I was like, where did he come from? He wasn't even nowhere near the guy and just came out of nowhere, just pushed him. I was like, yeesh.
Yeah,
And then you see my boy Randall coming in there, just pushing through like, hey, get back, just pushing everybody out the way too. I was like, yo, they love it's always
he
them
was a
getting
little more
into
peacekeeper this time. I
it.
think he wasn't like cage bullying it.
Nah, he was just bullying through to get everybody to move back. Like, let's separate this, man. We got to finish this game because we up. Let's go ahead and get this over with. But
But
yeah.
I mean, like the story of this game to me is, there's no Dosunmo. I mean, that's crazy. So now
Hmm.
the T Wolves got all 3 of their top 2 guards are out, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Ant-Man, DiVincenzo, and now Dosunmo. And
Yeah.
then coming off they just have this guy Shannon who starts. Shannon comes out there. He's freaking like dunking from the free throw line. I'm like, who is this
Yeah.
guy? Where has he
Yeah.
been? He was awesome.
Next man up. That's all I can say. Next man up. He was out there hooping. And I like this guy too. As you know, I'm a lefty. So I'm a scout my people. He's left-handed. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
This is your lefty. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
He definitely came out because he played in college and he was a hooper man in college. So when he came to the Timberwolves, I really was expecting him to play like last year, but they didn't put him in the rotation. But he got in when it mattered in the playoffs. He got in and did what he needed to do. So I was like very, very, very happy for him because he had to do what he had to do to take over for the team.
yeah, he was huge. They kept saying he doesn't play defense well. That's why he doesn't get any run. But
Yeah, but hey,
Uh,
offense. They need him on offense. He had 2 steals though. So I mean, he did play a little defense, but got to do what
yeah.
you got to do. It
He
was a
was
good game though.
awesome. Naz Reid was awesome again. Like Naz Reid is just like guard skills and like a power forward slash center body.
Hmm.
He must have had a late growth spurt or something, man, because he could
he
dribble,
was
pass.
a point guard. He was a point guard growing up. He played point
Oh,
guard
that
for
makes
me.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why them
because
handles is
he
like
hits
that.
he hits like precise passes, dude, like right in the
Hmm.
shooting pocket for
Yep,
these guys.
yep. Speaking of passes, did you see Rudy Gobert's pass?
Around the body.
And he said, I'm gonna show I'm gonna show you jokers I could pass too. And just like I said, if he plays like that, it's a whole different ball game. If he plays like he's supposed to play, hey, he's good. I mean, he almost had triple double too, so I was surprised at that. So I was like, oh, he's passing the ball. Like he's
Doris was
fine.
pretty impressed by that one.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yeah. But yeah, McDaniel's
And
he
can't
balled out.
Daniels did ball out
Yep,
finally.
yep.
He was hitting his shots
Hmm. He
for
was
one
hitting
of
the
the
mid range shots for real. He made sure he hit his
yeah.
mid range. So he was doing his thing on that game too. So I was like,
He'd
really,
been bricking those throughout the series, but,
yep,
last
yep,
night he was hitting them.
yeah,
And on the Denver side, man, Jamal Murray just did not have it.
yeah. I only had
He was,
12
like,
points.
scared to shoot from 3. It was yeah. I guess Jamal Murray will just do that sometimes, man.
Hmm. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
You
really
see,
tough. Cam Johnson, though, was awesome, man. He
yeah,
was he was really
27.
stroking it from 3.
Yeah,
He almost had a huge dunk down the lane.
yeah. I think they just missed. They was really missing Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
That was really what was hurting them more than anything because he helps out, and him and Joker, they play good together, and he'll find them on a lob or either he'll find them on a good pass, and Gordon, he plays good defense too. So that was another reason why they couldn't do too much, and Joker was tired because he had to do more work and try to get more rebounds compared to having Aaron Gordon there helping out getting rebounds and making it easier. But, you know, like I said, next man up, you got to be ready. Got to be ready to play. But, they didn't have nobody else coming off the bench other than Tim Hardaway Jr. to help out and score. But everybody else was nowhere to be found. So yeah,
Well,
next year.
they had that Spencer Jones guy in there, and but he wasn't getting done on the boards. That's
Nah.
really good insight, Doug. Like they really needed Aaron Gordon down there because they were getting killed on the boards. Jokic was
Hmm.
kind of like I don't know if he was just lost under the basket every time, but he was having
He
trouble grabbing anything.
It was them pushes and it was bodying everybody else. He had to do more bodying than
Yeah,
to do anything. So I mean, that's what gets you tired when you're trying to do everything on offense and defense. But you know, Joker is a bigger guy, so it's gonna be a lot more energy that he's got to use, especially when they're rotating people on him to box him out and everything too. So he's got different types of body that he's got to deal with and try to get through to get a rebound. So I mean, good job on the Timberwolves of playing that defense and making him, work for the rebounds and doing what they need to do to get the boards. So they did what they needed to do.
yeah, yeah. Nuggets had a tough time on the boards. Any other takes on this game?
No, I just think I thought about something. I think Aaron Gordon might be. I think this might be his contract year too. I think so. I don't know if they're gonna resign him or not.
Well, he's had injury problem. He had injury problems last playoffs too, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So his back is like a real issue now, but
yeah. He can't dunk like he used to,
yeah,
man. That dunking it caused a effect on his body. That man was king dunking. He just dunking all over the place.
either
But
that or all the people pushing him in the back could be that
yeah,
too.
that too. That too. Yeah.
Uh,
So we're gonna see what
but
the
he's
off season they're gonna do for them. We're gonna see what they're gonna do in the off season for the Nuggets because it's
yeah,
gonna be a lot of decisions to be made if they're gonna keep their coach or they're gonna change up, and the roster. They had a couple people they still gonna try to figure out if they're gonna keep though. We're gonna see what that happens with that. But congratulations to the Timberwolves.
I would say I don't think their window's closed. I think the Nuggets shouldn't blow anything up or whatever. Like I think, I thought Cam Johnson really showed out last game. I mean, that guy's a good piece.
Hmm.
They definitely need a Aaron Gordon there or someone sort of similar, like
Right.
energy rebounding type of power forward who can
Hmm.
hit some threes. That's something Gordon's put in his game in the last
Right.
couple of years. It's been really huge for them.
Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, we'll see what they do, but I hope they keep battling because yeah, I mean they just had a tough matchup. The T Wolves. This is a rivalry, man. It's one of the
Yeah.
like
It's
only
one of them.
rivalries we
Yeah.
got.
That. Yeah. The height one's on top of that because the Timberwolves. I mean, the Nuggets wanted to play the Timberwolves, but they thought he was going to win this series. So I mean, yeah,
They screwed that
happen.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think. I mean, they could have just. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have destroyed the Lakers or Houston. So
Yeah.
they,
Because
yeah,
who they play against? Oh no, they play against the Spurs, don't they? I thought. Oh no, they play against.
they
They're
would have
playing against the.
played in the second round. They would have played the Spurs if they had lost and gotten fourth place in
Yeah.
the second round. They'd have to play OKC. Maybe they didn't want that, which is understandable because they kind of were matching up okay with the Spurs.
Right. Right.
But they didn't. They were thinking past the first round, perhaps, and that was a
Hmm.
mistake. Clearly. I mean, impressive job by the T Wolves winning without their star, and I hope I think he's going to come back. I heard he's going to come back, so that's good. But I don't think they have a chance against the Spurs. But
Well, I mean,
who
everybody's got
knows?
injuries on both teams, so it might play a part and it might not. If Wimby, as long as Wimby plays good and stay healthy, they could do it. He's gonna get to play against his Frenchman and Rudy Gobert, so we're gonna see how Rudy gonna handle that.
He kills Gobert, right? I don't know what the
Yeah,
regular season stats are, but
yeah,
I'm assuming Gobert is a little too slow for him.
yeah. So I feel like when this series, I think they're better off putting Nas Reed on Wimby and play it like that, and just have and play a little bit bigger, but and have Rudy Gobert come off the bench. But it's probably gonna it's probably gonna change. We'll see how it goes. If the
Uh,
coach play it right,
that's an interesting idea.
yeah, let Rudy come off the
That's
bench
it.
and be
Yeah.
the replacement, and he might be able to work against Luke. Was it Luke Kennard or what's his name that played for the It came from the Celtics. Man, number
You're talking
7,
about on the Spurs?
but I think he
Luke
starts though.
Cornett. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
Luke Cornett.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I said Luke
You were
Kennard.
close there.
Yeah, yeah.
They're both Luke K's. No, Luke Cornett's been great. Been pretty good for them, and he plays actually a lot of minutes.
Hmm.
So you're saying put in Rudy against Luke Cornett
Yeah.
and Nas again. That's an interesting idea. I think teams are having a little bit of luck playing smaller players on Victor.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say Nas Reed is a great defender, but he
He can play.
is.
He can guard that three though. He can guard that three better than Rudy does. So, I mean,
That's for
it's just
sure,
more.
and he's
That's
active.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it should be interesting. I'll be watching, but I would have loved to see Jokic versus Wemby. That would have been
Versus
awesome,
Wemby.
but
Yeah.
wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Wednesday's games. Doug had some good games Wednesday, some important games. So the Pistons were fighting for their playoff lives, and wow, this was a real game between the stars. Both Cade and Paolo each had 45 points. I mean, Cade actually beat Isaiah Thomas's playoff points record. Uh,
Mm.
I asked my Pistons fan friends, the Rosane Bros, about that, and they say he's worthy. So I was like, okay.
He better be worthy enough to win this series then, because if he not, he's not worthy. He doesn't win this series, he's not worthy.
Yeah. Oh, good point. That's a good point, Doug. I agree with
Yeah.
you.
But I mean, that series was a very interesting one because I mean, if you look at it, Tobias Harris stepped up and helped out too, along with 23 points. The twin Thompson, he had 15 rebounds, 6 points, and 6 assists. So, I mean, he played his role. He didn't shoot no threes, so he was 3 for 5 from the field. So he played his role, by doing what he needs to do and play some defense and, get the boards and pass the ball out to everybody. But, Cade was doing his thing. Durant still, we still not seeing a 2010 game from him, but that 45 from Cade Cunningham was replaced all with that. So, you know, Cade said, I'm going to put it all on my back, and I got you. But,
Duran
yeah.
was better. He was better. He was playing a little harder. He was, 4 for 6. But man, it was rough what Angel Reese did to him. So this is something that me as an old suburban white man wasn't, in the know about. But apparently, Angel Reese used to date the WNBA player. She used to date Jalen Duran.
Mm-hmm.
Then they broke up or whatever, and now she's dating Wendell Carter.
Yep.
Wendell Carter's been putting it on during this entire series, and after that Jamal Cain sit down during dunk, she tweeted out a video of that.
Mm-hmm. She was happy. She's like, my ex got dunked on. I'm glad. That's why they losing in their series. Can't win against my man. But hey, they got to win this time. So they better win this series because Angel's gonna really troll. She's gonna troll very, very hard if they end up losing that series. For real. So
She's
gonna be
she's
heavy.
a premier troll, man. She's good at that. Yeah, she'd be a lot to handle, man. Jalen
Yeah.
Duran might be saying, "Thank you." I don't.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be free of
That's
that one.
for a guy, that should be a fuel, to spark the team up, or spark yourself up to, like, you talking about me, but I'm about to embarrass your boyfriend. But they still got a ways to go. So
You
if they
did a
win
little
this next
better
game,
last night, but
yeah,
Doug, I this is on you, man. We're a game late on this analysis, so I need you on this stuff, man. I can't I can't be trusted.
I meant to talk about this the first game. I really did mean to say something about this on the first game, but it wasn't really a big important thing because but I was just expecting Detroit to win this series completely. But things happen, so hey, but hey, this is a good
Things happen
series.
indeed. Detroit
Yeah,
is fighting
it's
for their
surprising everybody.
lives.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they play back in Orlando next game.
Yeah, tonight they play in
Yeah.
Orlando.
Oh yeah, so that Orlando Magic better come out, or either Detroit's going to come out there and try to save their face and send back home for Game 7. So we're going to see what that happens. But I don't know. I had an interesting time though in Orlando in December when they played in the Cup game, because I went to the Cup game when they played against Miami. That game was interesting, but like their atmosphere,
Really?
yeah.
Tell us more. Yeah.
And it was a birthday thing, so I went down there for my birthday. I usually try to go to an NBA game for my birthday, so I didn't want to go to
Nice.
a
Yeah,
Hornets
me
game because
too.
I'm used to going to that. But I went to Orlando, and I was like, let me go ahead and watch them play against Miami. I seen Asia Wilson at the game; she was there, so I did get to see her when I was there, and
She's very tall.
yeah, I expected to see her too, and she's left-handed too, so I got to show love to my left, so hey.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's a real MVP, left-handed MVP for us. She making us look
That's
good.
true. That's true.
But yeah, but the atmosphere of the crowd and everything, it is loud. Like, I mean, it makes a big difference when it comes to going to different arenas and seeing how the crowd gets hyped and loud and everything. Everybody has a different type of way of getting the crowd loud and everything. But with Orlando, it makes a difference. It makes a real big difference with the crowd getting hyped
But
and
isn't it
changing
all just really high pitched voices from all the wannabe Disney princesses in the crowd?
Hey, I was surprised, but yeah, it's a lot of yelling in there. Like, I mean, it's it's loud. It's really loud. I like the arena though. It's very interesting though. But yeah, Orlando, if that crowd helps them out and win this game tonight, it's gonna be big. Because I mean, I feel like that's one of the other arenas that that makes noise. Because I mean, they had Penny Hardaway and Shaq coming in, and it just makes it explains it. I mean, I think when Shaq and them was there, it probably was louder because they went further. But this crowd is very, very, very electric. So if they can hit all their shots when they come home and get rebounds and everything, that will get Detroit out of the game. You know, it's a different type of ball game in Orlando.
Well, Franz Wagner was ruled out is ruled out for the game already, and
Oh, really?
him missing really hurt.
Oh,
I would say,
yeah, I see. Hans Wagner. Let's
because
see.
just his size against Cade, I think is a
Hmm.
factor.
Yeah.
Um,
So we're gonna see how that goes, though. It's really gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting game. If Durant comes out and goes crazy, he, hey, that might make a big difference too. So we gonna see if he comes out and be like talking junk, talking trash, letting them know that he's bad.
I don't think it's happening, man. I think last game's about as good as we're gonna get there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's been like the last two games is close to like 12 and 10 almost. So yeah, like they're finding a
And
way.
then,
He's go ahead.
oh no, I don't have anything important to say. What you
Oh,
got there?
but I was saying, I mean, with Orlando, they got replacements on in the big, so they can just rotate them out. So he, like he's guarding by everybody. Bengo, Carter's really giving them a hard time though, because Carter can shoot too, and he spreads the floor out too, so it makes it a little bit harder for Durant to go out there and play in the post most of the time. So he's got to go out to the 3-point line to guard his man, which Carter will knock those down in the corner. He definitely does get rebounds. Like he definitely have to fight for rebounds with Carter, and then the other big man coming off the bench makes a big difference too, and he can shoot too. So if Durant doesn't know how to adjust this game gonna be bye bye Detroit, going back home and just watching the rest of the playoffs. And then
I mean, yeah, Duran just kind of seems a little bit too small to me. Not his biceps. He's freaking
yeah, yeah,
jacked, but he's not like a 7-footer, And yeah, you're right. Orlando does have a lot of big men. They haven't even put in my boy Mo Wagner, University of
that
Michigan
that was another
superstar.
reason. That was another person I was like wondering why they didn't put him in. Like if anybody gets in trouble, foul trouble, I mean that would be the next person to bring in, and he can shoot too. So it's like they're loaded. They're loaded in the bigs. So and he's a bigger body. He's a very bigger body than everybody else. So he puts a little bit of work on everybody. So I I I was surprised he hasn't been playing in the league in the series either. So, but
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess Goga's just been so good that
yeah, I
and
still would put
Wendell
both of them in.
Carter.
I would put both of
Yeah.
them in, to be honest with you. Make them work even more because Cade Cunningham, he does penetrate a lot and get to the hole. But if you put some big men in there, he's not going to be able to do all that. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see how many turnovers Cade Cunningham's going to have to do. That's going to be another key point to find out if he does like get at least over like 5 turnovers. If you get over 5 turnovers and they lose, that's going to be the thing. And then they're going to look for another ball dominant person over the offseason.
Yeah, I think they need to look for that regardless. But yeah, Cade had some crazy stat. He had 8 turnovers a game or 7.5 or something for
In this
3 straight
series,
games. It was like the
yeah,
most ever in a 3-game stretch in the
hmm
playoffs.
yeah, yeah.
But as I
He had six in
said,
the lot. He had six turnovers in the win though. But if they,
yeah,
like I said,
see,
if
that's
they
all. You
make
just
them,
got to keep it to 6. That's
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and they can win.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty bad, but I think when you look at like in a vacuum, that's pretty bad. But when you look at the Pistons, just lacking shooters, just how Orlando can kind of, double, triple team Cade,
uh-huh.
not necessarily at the point of the attack, but just even behind the point of attack. It's tough for him, man. He just doesn't have a lot of room out there. It's
Yeah,
like I said before, it's like he's playing in the '80s or something with Osir Thompson out there. I mean, yeah, Osir doesn't even line up at the 3-point line, which
hmm
in a way is a little bit of a credit to him. At least he's not one of these like bad 3-and-D players
yeah,
who's bricking a bunch of shots, which are
yeah.
kind of
He know he
almost like
knows
turnovers.
he knows when to shoot and when not to
He
shoot.
knows
So I
he can't
mean,
shoot that,
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
at the same time, he's not even providing any spacing in that way,
hmm
which is rare in the modern NBA. But
yeah, and that's
I
what
thought
causes his turnovers too. That's what causes Kate Cunningham turnovers because he looks and probably doesn't think about it, but he's still a point guard, but you gotta be ready for those decision passes and everything. So that plays a
Probably
part.
getting a little tired too, playing 44 minutes. I thought Tobias Harris played really well. I was impressed by him. He was actually creating shots for himself too.
Hmm
9 for 18. So need more of that effort. And then Duncan Robinson was hitting his threes. Speaking of Duncan Robinson, we got to do mustache wash for him. The peach fuzz it's coming along, Duncan. In a few years, you'll hit puberty and you grow a full mustache.
It
That, buddy.
looked very
And on
interesting on him too.
mustache wash, I would shave that thing off, buddy. That's yeah, that ain't happening for you. Now, Bruce Brown from the Nuggets, he's got a really, really
A
good,
real
serious
thick one.
mustache.
Yeah, he got a
Yeah,
real
that's a
thick
good
one.
that's a good thing, bud. We're sorry to see you go, Bruce.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Pistons Magic should be a good game, and looking forward to that one. Let's move on to Cavs Raptors. I mean, oh my God, this was such a huge, huge difference in scoring. I was like, it
hmm
was 50-50, Doug, with
hmm
like 8 minutes left in the second. I mean, these teams couldn't hit the broadside of the barn like for the last few games, and they were shooting like 67% in the first quarter.
hmm
The end score was 120 to 125. Wow, what a difference. Finally, maybe they practiced the ball has to go through the net.
In the
They
room.
figured that part out in this game. So that was a big difference, both
Yeah.
teams.
That was a good game. James Harden and James Harden had 20, but Donovan Mitchell didn't have too much. But they were right there neck and neck. And then Mobley, he ended up scoring because he didn't score that many points the last game. So he played his part. I'm just surprised that uh, Allen wasn't doing anything. Like he only had 9 points and 3 rebounds. He didn't get no boards. So that was making me mad. But the person that surprised everybody that hasn't been really showing up is Dennis Schroeder. That man came off the bench and dropped 19. So, I was expecting him, at him being a champion because he won one with the Lakers and he played his role, you know. But I expected him to average at least like 15 off the bench for Cleveland. But, he's got to get used to his role in playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers and doing what he need to do. It's
But Doug, that hasn't been Schroeder's fault. In my mind, that's on the coach. The coach
yeah,
wasn't playing him enough.
yeah,
And
yeah,
as I was saying earlier, they need to get Dennis Schroeder in there. This guy's a playoff performer, and
right.
he really showed out. I mean, he was the major difference. If
hmm
he hadn't had those points for the Cavs
It would have been a
Wednesday
loss.
night, no, yeah, that would have been a loss. So he was awesome. In fact, in that fourth quarter is kind of interesting. They kind of stopped. They didn't play Mitchell very much in that fourth quarter. They
Yeah.
played Harden and Schroeder. Harden was doing his "I'm scared" and just basically was like a glorified screener.
hmm
And Schroeder was the one getting into the hole. Plus, you combine that with like Evan Mobley hitting some threes. I mean, he hit 3 huge
3 for 3.
threes,
Yeah.
3 for 3, yeah. And
hmm
he was also hitting some other shots. Mobley finally woke up and started playing. Jarrett Allen was efficient too with some post moves. So, I mean, everybody was scoring and is very interesting. Like, I'm a huge Donovan Mitchell guy from his time in Utah and stuff,
Utah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this was a bit of a rough game for him.
hmm
I still think like, I mean, I think it's a rough game because like basically the Raptors play 6'9" guys everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so who is Donovan Mitchell going to guard? He's not the greatest at defense, I'll admit, but then
And they
you're
got the
trying to
mismatch.
put this 6'3" guy, yeah, on like a Scotty Barnes or RJ
hmm
Barrett. That's tough. So maybe in the future series, it won't be all 6'9" guys. I thought
Yeah.
I thought one of the keys for the Raptors, frankly, was Brandon Ingram getting injured and going out. I thought
Yeah.
that actually really helped them.
That and he left out in 11 minutes in the game, so yeah, that
Yeah.
that played a
He had
part.
only
So
1 point in 11 minutes. He hasn't really been doing much at all this series.
yeah, I
He
mean
was
he's
complaining
played
and
his role.
whining.
Yeah, he played his role a
He was
little bit.
whining about the coach in those first 2 game in that first game, and then he did nothing in the second game. And to me, Brandon Ingram is like this guy who should be, he was kind of pitched as Kevin Durant 2.0, coming into the league. He's like a 6'11" guy with
That can
like
score.
all
He can
these.
score, but he's a
Yeah,
role player. He's really a role player. He's not a
he's supposed to be an all-star though, Doug. I mean, he
yeah,
was drafted what, 3rd overall,
yeah.
but it hasn't been looking good for him. He's just basically a ball stopper. He doesn't hit enough of his shots,
Mm,
and I think the Raptors were better off without him.
yeah. I think they might trade off on him. I don't know, and get like a legit shooting guard because him and RJ they both play small forward pretty much, but it's what they want to do. How they play, and RJ had a good game, and he had a double double, and then Scotty Barnes played a good game too. He almost had a triple double, but Scotty Barnes is like that though. He's pretty much a point forward. He's really a point forward when it comes to their team. So and since they don't have quickly, he's the next point guard big pretty much. So it runs through him and everything. So if you look at the stats too, the two G League guys, that we were talking about, they played good too, but you wasn't expecting them to drop points like that. So they were nobodies early in the series because they didn't really score any points, but they played big minutes and scored a couple over what 15 points for both of them.
You
So
talking about Shed and Walter?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when Walter was finally hitting his shots. He was 0
Hmm.
4. He didn't hit a single shot in Toronto, and he was playing
Yeah,
some big minutes.
yeah.
But he was 6 for 14 from 3 this game.
Hmm.
Those are some huge shots. Jamal Shed's got great defense. And yeah, I was going to ask you about Scotty Barnes and what you think his actual position is. I think he was touted as a point guard a little bit,
Yeah.
especially earlier. And I think he's been forced in that role a little more recently with Quigley out.
Yeah, when he was in college, he was the same way. He played the same way in college, like college and high school. He played with a lot of guys that were big too. So he learned how to do that, playing point and everything. So and that's how he won Rookie of the Year too, because he did a lot as far as from scoring, passing, playing defense, everything. So and I like Scotty Barnes for the Raptors, but he's like I give him a quad or either uh what's my guy name? Chris Bosh, one of those big men for the Raptors. But every time they get somebody good at power forward, they end up leaving. So I just I don't know if he's gonna stay long with the Raptors and play his role and help them win another championship. But they're gonna have to make some changes on this team and find the roles for
Wait, now you're
everybody.
calling him a power forward?
Who? Well, that's the position they got him as. That's the position they got him as. But he's really a point forward. That's what I give him, a point forward, because he's always getting like assist and everything. So
I gotta say, like a couple years ago when they still had Siakam, I was like, Siakam is the real star on this team.
yeah, yeah,
I think they came to the Hornets and Siakam was destroying us, and Barnes just didn't look good at all. But I'm gonna give Barnes some credit. He's pushing it. He's pushing it, right? He can get to the hole. He's not always making a shot, but drawing free throws or passing it out.
hmm,
He's really like kind of pressing the action and
yeah.
not just standing around. So I like that about him. I think it's worked in this series. I don't know if it works
Somewhere
long
else.
term overall or
Oh
whatever,
yeah. I mean, that's why
but
that's why the Siakam got traded, because they wanted to build around Scotty Barnes. So I mean, they have faith in him for some reason. I mean, not some for some reason, but for a reason. That's why they made him, gave him the keys, let him do what he needed to do to take over the team. So I mean,
Well,
He's
they really leaned into like the 6'9" players everywhere, tall
mm-hmm.
players everywhere. I think maybe Barnes wasn't quite good enough as a point guard, so they couldn't quite go with that
Yeah,
completely. I haven't, I don't know what the Quigley factor is. Obviously, he's not there, and he was their starting point guard. I think of him as more of like a scorer than a distributor, but maybe I'm off on that.
he does all of them. Quickly had a hamstring injury, so that's the thing with him. So that hamstring, he's on the go, so he definitely quick and fast. So I mean, that played a part on his injury. So I wish him the best of luck, man, because he definitely deserved to play in the playoffs this year, and wanted to help his team win and everything. But he's got to watch him from the bench and cheer his team on.
Yeah, that's tough luck for him. It'd be interesting to see how the series would play out with him there. But it's still quite a battle. I mean, that was a really close game. Could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Cleveland survived at the end. I mean, I don't. I assume they're going to close it out, but actually, I don't know, man. It's going back to Toronto, so
hmm Yeah, we're gonna see if we'll see if Scotty Barnes end up with a triple double this game. I smell it. I smell it.
yeah, and Harden, like, man, Harden just. I think like like Donovan Mitchell, I think like is deferring a little bit to Harden, just a
Mm,
little bit, just like in his mind. Harden's like this, NBA legend. He's got like 20,000 plus points and stuff, and I think
yeah,
maybe Mitchell needs to realize like Harden ain't trying to be any
the
kind of
starter
star in
team.
the end.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wants Mitchell to be the star. Like, this is your team, man. I'm coming here to help you out. So let's go ahead and do that. But he might need to turn into the Houston Rocket, James Harden, though, for this next game. Get all the fouls
Well,
and
if
everything, and assist.
yeah, but he was the first two games, man. He looked amazing, all those assists and stuff, but
Mm,
the last 3 or 4 just hasn't happened.
it's been hard for
And
him. Yeah.
it's the same old story, man. I think another thing is I just want to tell their coach, like, where's Keon Ellis? You know, Keon Ellis is a good defender.
hmm
And I think the fact that he's not playing him last game and the Raptors scoring 120 points, like, and he doesn't trust him or whatever, to me, that's bad. I mean, I might rather see Keon Ellis out there instead of Harden.
On certain plays. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Keon brings it on the defensive end. He's gonna like sparks fast breaks. I know Harden he's kind of like a steady guy that they can throw it to, but he just slows down the action. Man, he slows down the
hmm
action. And sometimes he tries to make a little move and then passes it out. And it's like, thanks for wasting 8 seconds of our shot clock. Now I got, like 5 to do something with it.
hmm
So, the coach needs to get Keon. It's bad that he's not seeing him in rotation. At least he got Schroeder out there, and
He did what
that's
he needed to do. Yeah,
yeah,
he's definitely gonna play the next game. So we'll see definitely how he comes in and does what he needs to do and play his role. See if he can bring that Laker memories back and be like the the guard of the Lakers when he was playing with them and end up helping them win this next game.
yeah. And he can do it. He was doing it with the Pistons last year too. But
Mhm.
speaking of the Lakers, let's talk about that series. A very interesting turn of events here. The Rockets were down 3-0 and are now up to 3-2. And there's a
Mhm.
lot of chatter about they might be the first team to ever
Come back and
win,
win.
come back and win 3-0. How that would affect LeBron's legacy, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. And I just got to say, like, I'm wearing my Seattle. I used to live in the Seattle area. My first season tickets ever were to the Sonics on Kevin Durant's first year. And I got to say, Durant, where are you, buddy? This is your chance, man. This is your chance to get LeBron. Okay. Listen, Durant, we all know that you think that you're the greatest player, whatever, but even when you were winning those championships with the Warriors in the late 2010s and getting the finals MVP and stuff, people still
Mm-hmm.
knew that LeBron's a better player than you. Durant, this is your chance, man. You can come back. If you put the first 3-0 series loss on LeBron's legacy, it'll shine you up, man. Get on
Yep.
out there. Just
He gets
wrap up
revenge,
that
but
calf.
yeah. Well, it's the ankle now, so I mean he's out. He's not playing tonight, so they got him out for tonight. So if Houston can win at home, maybe Kevin Durant can play in LA and win.
Listen, someone get on one of his burner tweets or whatever. Tweet out this podcast, okay? Minute 53. You can listen to my soliloquy. Get wrap that ankle up, Kevin.
We need you back out
Actually,
there, Kevin.
I don't know if they'd be better with him. What do you think?
I mean, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say if he fits in and if they play because the offense is gonna revolve around Kevin Durant, but everybody's gonna have to understand once they double team Kevin Durant, be ready to shoot. Be ready to shoot or be ready to rotate ball and find the right person to score. Because y'all gonna have to can't just turn back around and try to get back to Kevin Durant. Y'all gonna have to do something to help him out because he's an ISO. He's Kevin Durant is a pure scorer, but he's better on ISOs. He's not he's not a player that loves to be double teamed. And he hasn't dealt with that as much because he had multiple players throughout his career playing. So when he played with the Phoenix, he didn't get double teamed. When he played with Golden State, he didn't get double teamed. When he played with OKC, he didn't get double teamed, and Brooklyn. So I mean, all the teams that he played with, he never had to deal with double teams because he had players that really controlled the team, and he get his spots. He get in his spots and score. But playing with Houston, I mean, they don't have a legit person that can score off the ball and and just take over like Kevin Durant does. So it's all on Kevin Durant when he plays. So he really did need his point guard in the game, Fred. But Fred hurt himself early in the season, so that made a big dent in his play of playing. So especially when it comes to the playoffs, you need everybody on hands on deck when they're playing in the playoffs because it's a different ball game, and you're playing the series. You're not playing, just playing in the regular season, just playing against everybody and letting do what you want to do. When it plays in the playoffs, is they got a game plan. Everybody has a game plan and how to play defense on certain players and certain teams. So Kevin Durant is gonna, he's not gonna hinder them, but it does, you know, plays a little part. So everybody else on the team is gonna have to step up. But everybody did play good when they played against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Surprised everybody. I was expecting them to go home, to be honest with you, because the whole Kevin Durant story, saying he wasn't playing, he wanted to be around the team. I was thinking the team's just gonna be like, just give up and just go ahead and go home. But everybody fought back. Smith came out was strong for them, had 22 points scoring. You know, Shangoon, he almost had a triple double. I expect him to play like that. I mean, his game, when I say he doesn't play defense, he doesn't, but I feel like when he plays all around game, it helps him out and it covers his defense because he gets rebounds and passes it to the right person. When he doesn't think about it, it works out. But when he does try to overthink it, it's doing too much. So, you know, if you're gonna be an offensive threat, make sure you do it right. So Shangoon, if you hear me, Shangoon, I need 40 out of you. 40 and a triple double. Then make LeBron upset, frustrate him, and put your team on your back because it's your turn now since Kevin Durant's not playing. But if anybody else shows up, it's a plus. And then another thing I thought about too, they played Smith, what's his name, Finney Smith. They played him in the game, and he played against the Lakers too. So that was I was like, oh, he finally played. He finally played a game. So he plays good defense. That's one thing I can't say about that. He plays real good defense. So if him guarding LeBron makes a little difference too. So play LeBron, play against LeBron, and be very aggressive on LeBron. But if you get Austin Reeves to start next game, it might be over for the Houston Rockets. Because he came back
Okay, well,
and
you're right. Austin Reeves didn't start. That was an interesting choice. He did start in the second half, and he played well. I mean, he was getting to the hole. Man, that guy draws a ton of fouls.
hmm
Wow.
he definitely his shots wasn't falling, but he had to get back into play. So he did
He was
get to
shooting
the free
some
throw line.
super long threes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of game plans and Alperen Şengün, I thought the story of the game for me was the Lakers double teaming Şengün. And Şengün is good at handling double teams. He was passing out to guys who were wide open, and I think there are 5-6 times this happened, and the Rockets got points off of him, and that to me was the difference. That was a terrible game plan. Let
Yeah.
Şengün go to work, Lakers, because you do not want to leave those guys wide open. They're not
hmm
that good at shooting threes to begin with,
Right.
but you leave them wide open like that, they're NBA players. They can hit them.
hmm
So that was a big mistake by the Lakers.
Yeah. I think at the end, I remember seeing Shepard steal the ball from LeBron. He got his lick back from LeBron, and they went in overtime. The other game in Houston,
Yeah, that's
he
right.
got him back and he scored. But yeah, it rung in his head. He was like, "This is my chance to get my revenge back from LeBron." So
Yeah.
I make sure I get this steal. And he stole the ball and went down court. And LeBron did not chase him down and block the shot. That's what I was surprised about. But LeBron is older. He's tired. So he's not going to run after him. But if he was younger, yeah, that would have been thrown off the backboard.
Yeah. No, that was a good point. He didn't run after him.
Yeah.
And Reed kind of slowed up a little bit. I mean,
hmm
LeBron would have like swatted him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's still super athletic. I was surprised he didn't go
Yeah.
after him.
I definitely seen. I was like, LeBron did not run after that. Like, he didn't want to get another Andre Iguodala block. Like, what's going on, LeBron?
Yeah, yeah.
You supposed to be throwing everybody's stuff off the backboard. You the man. You're known for chasing down blocks, and
You don't
that
want to
was
be
a
the first guy to lose a 3-0 game, LeBron, a 3-0
yeah,
series, LeBron.
yeah. But I tell everybody, you can't just throw that on LeBron, man. Like, saying his legacy is done. Like, it's not. I mean,
I know
LeBron
you're right.
LeBron's
No,
still a
no, no.
hooper.
It's a lot of hyperbole,
Yeah. A lot of people love
but
putting him down on this. That him and KD. I mean, but you got to understand their age. They're aging. Nobody's going to be the same when they're younger, when they get older. We all get old, we get tired, bones, body, muscle, all that plays a part. But, with LeBron, I mean, I was a LeBron fan at one point when he came in the league because I wasn't a Kobe fan, but RIP to Kobe, I still have respect for him.
I knew there
But
was a
when he
reason I liked you, Doug.
when he did that Miami thing, that's what really, like, it's like, this man made a super team. Man, I ain't never seen nobody do something like that in my life. But like I said, it's just
It's
it
because
plays a
he's
part.
smart, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, get a ring easily. Go with the guys
He's
that
like
you
a
was
GM
drafted
and
by.
a player.
Yeah, yeah. But I can see LeBron running the team one day. After this season, after not after this season, but after he retires, I can see him coaching or either being a GM or something. Like, LeBron
Yeah, I
knows what
could
he's
see him
doing.
like a Jerry West type because
Yeah.
he practically was doing the GMing on all the teams he's played for.
Now he's gonna be a Pat Riley. I feel like he'll be a Pat Riley when he comes in the league.
He made some mistakes, like when they got Russell Westbrook. Another one. Thank you for taking him off the Wizards. Not that the Wizards have done anything with it after.
But
Anyway,
Westbrook
but
made a difference though when he left though. When he left, it's when playing with LeBron is very, very, very hard to do, especially if you're a star already. Like, LeBron playing with D Wade and Bosh was different, but him playing with other stars that either similar to him, because him and Westbrook are kind of similar, but only difference is Westbrook can make a difference with his team when he plays with everybody. He finds everybody. He loves to play with everybody. LeBron loves to play with everybody, but everybody tries to match with LeBron when they play with him, and it's not good to do that. You need to play your game and everything. But him and Luca, and when they play together, I was expecting Luca to take over and let LeBron, rest. He plays his role, and he can get the blocks when he's resting and run down and everything. But if
And
LeBron's
that was happening
carrying,
at the end of the season. That was happening,
yeah,
and I think like I'd like to see the Lakers pull this out so that we could hopefully
see Luca.
see Luca come in. I mean, Luca's owned OKC in the past, not so much in the regular season this year, but in the playoffs could be a different story. So,
Hmm.
I hope that can happen for him. But this is a battle, and it's a weird one because, well, it's like the Rockets have had the injuries and the Lakers have the people coming back, and yet I still kind of feel like the Rockets could pull this
Got a
out.
chance.
Like
Yeah.
those, I mean, they won that miracle game 3 when the Lakers won that miracle game 3 when they're down 6. The first 2 games, Luke Kennard was just shooting
Hmm.
out of his gourd, and
That man had
same
only
with
one
Marcus
point, man.
Smart.
That man
Yeah,
only
he
had
only had
one.
1 point. And your boy Marcus Smart,
He came back to reality.
they well, and they didn't play. He had a lot of minutes, but they, with Reeves in, they
It
actually
was
played
going around
Reeves
him.
and Kennard at one point,
Hmm.
and maybe that's not the best idea. I mean, Marcus's defense is a real difference maker,
Yeah.
and I think they were missing that in the fourth quarter. But you're right about Reed making up for his failure in Game 3. They were saying that the coach Udoka like showed them the clips of the end of that game right after right
Hmm.
after the game,
I want y'all to feel this
and
game. I definitely want y'all to feel this
yeah.
game. Look at this.
And Reed must have internalized that because he was awesome. He had that steal. He also had the like dribble up,
And shot. The last shot. Yeah.
midi. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was huge. So good for him. Kind of like, yeah, I mean, just having some life and you know, being a performer there.
Hmm. And it was
Good
a
for
good job for the
him.
coach to bring that up to him too and let him know, like, y'all better than this. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't let this. We should have never lost this game because we were down. They was down by 6. Y'all let LeBron come and be LeBron when it should have been we would have been up. We would have, or either would have been tied. Actually, would have been tied, or yeah.
Yeah. And part of the difference is LeBron didn't hit those last second threes in this game
Mm-mm.
like he did in that one. He
Yeah.
had a shot at it. I thought Tari Eason was great.
Hmm.
Happy to see him a little more. Jabari Smith actually did a little more than just shoot threes, but he was
It
great
was
at
more.
that too. He's like a modern day Robert Ory a little bit,
Hmm. I think they
maybe
did.
without the
I think
clutch gene, but
yeah,
similar play style, a 4-and-D guy. Yeah,
yeah. I think they did better. I think Coach did a smart thing by putting Easton in starting, as far as with that too, because they got to play their defensive bigs and play it. But they have a lot of power forwards that can shoot, but they gonna need to I don't know, they're gonna need to do something on the offseason too, man, because they're gonna need a true shooting guard and a true backup point guard for for Fred Van Vliet when he comes back. Because
yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good point. Like Van Vliet is missing for sure, but they could also use probably a 2 guard.
yeah,
They lost Jalen Green's probably addition by subtraction there.
yeah.
Uh,
I think they should have never traded him for Kevin Durant, but they had to do what they do to make the money
No, I
for
don't
Kevin
know,
Durant.
man. I think it was good to get him off the team. I think I was like being positive about him last on our last pod, but apparently in the Suns OKC series, he wasn't that good. I was just thinking about his play-in performance where he was pretty good.
Yeah. But he was last year. He was a reason why they played a little bit better and they went further in the playoffs though when when he was
Maybe in
there.
the regular season. In the playoffs, he had 1 or 2 like highlight games, and then he was just kind of trash the rest of the time.
You talking about this series or last year?
I'm talking about last year, the
Oh,
Rockets in the
okay.
playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Uh,
I got
but yeah, I mean, they lost Dylan Brooks and him, so they both are 2 guards
you. Mm,
for Durant. Now they're kind of doing the tall ball thing as well. That's where like a Reed Shepard doesn't really, or even a Fred VanVleet doesn't really fit in, but they do need
he
a
fit. he
point
fits
guard,
in pretty
like you
well.
said.
Van Vliet, he's a champion now. He done played against tall ones. He's just with Van Vliet. He can shoot. He really can shoot. And when he played with Toronto and they finally let him play, I want to say that series when they played against Embiid in the Eastern Conference Finals, he wasn't nowhere to be found. But once they gave him a chance in the Golden State series, that's when he really like blossomed open and everything started really playing a little bit better. So I feel
Yeah,
like
he
if he would have
showed
been
out.
playing, yeah, I feel like if he would have been
He
playing
even
this
got
series,
he got one of the MVP votes from Kawhi
yeah,
in that
yeah,
series. Yeah.
because Kawhi needed him. He
No,
was
no,
happy.
don't get me wrong. I'm not talking smack about Fred VanVleet. I'm just saying he's not
Oh yeah,
tall, right? He
yeah,
he doesn't
yeah,
fit in
yeah.
the
And then the
every
lineup.
tall switchable lineup thing. Yeah, he doesn't have the tall part of that. But he's he can play some defense too. We got anything else on the Lakers, Doug?
No, we're just gonna see
All right.
how this series goes tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little bit excited about that 3-0 thing. I mean, the Lakers, like Luka is my man. I want them to
Win.
move on so Luka can play. But now this whole thing, it's kind of exciting.
But everybody wants to be a LeBron killer. Everybody wants to be a LeBron killer. Like
Yeah,
in
I
his
mean the guy's just so good and has such a great career. It's got to come at the king. Looking forward to the games tonight. Let's do a quick thing on who we think's gonna win. All right, first we got Pistons Magic in Orlando. Doug, who you got?
give me Orlando. I feel like I said, the crowd's gonna make noise, and they're gonna help them boys come back and win this series. And I just feel like they're gonna take advantage of them in the free throw line. It's gonna be another free throw game. They're gonna put Detroit in the penalty and try to take advantage of the free throws and win the game. But like I said, if they can get Kate Cunningham to get over 6 turnovers, they'll win the game.
Yeah, home games are good for free throws for the home team. I'm gonna go with you. I think Orlando pulls it out. Ooh, it's gonna be tough for all the Pistons
Yeah,
fans.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to Cavs Raptors. This one is in Toronto. Another 3-2 series.
I'm giving it to Cleveland. Some, I think not LeBron. Ugh, LeBron's talking about me now. But I think James Harden's probably gonna ball out. Him and Donovan Mitchell are gonna, they're gonna find their shots and end the season for Toronto and have Toronto staying at home. It's gonna be tough though. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I feel like Cleveland's gonna come out and win this series on this game.
You might be right. Harden can show up in first round still, but I don't think he's gonna. I think the Raps are gonna take this one.
So you think it's gonna go to game 7, huh?
Gonna go to game 7. All right, and then Lakers Rockets. Oh man, I don't know
I
if I
think
even want to make a pick at this one.
I think the Houston Rockets might win this one, give them another chance at life and then either Kevin Durant comes back in the next game, in game 7, and steal the deal, or either they come back and they just go home. But I feel like
All
the
right,
Rockets might win this game.
all right. I'm gonna pick the Lakers. I think LeBron just puts it into this nonsense, and Austin Reeves starts, and the team plays well tonight.
Think LeBron gonna get a 50 ball in this game?
Nah, dude, he ain't. He ain't quite there anymore, man. Man, he didn't even get above 30 when Dylan Brooks was talking crap to him
Oh yeah,
a couple
yeah, you're
years
right.
back. Yeah, no, those days are done. But Austin Reeves could maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like Austin might if they win that game, Austin might have like 30, 32, and LeBron looking find him out and like, get a triple double or something like that.
yeah, that guy's looking to ball out. All right, listeners, thanks so much. Please like, subscribe, 5-star, and we'll see you all Sunday.
See you Sunday, for everyone.